Let's not pretend this is a fairy tale. This isn't soft jazz and champagne bubbles. This is one of those stories you only ever tell under the hush of 2 a.m., sitting in a cracked vinyl booth in an all-night diner, fries between you, and the kind of silence that only heartbreak can buy. If you're here, you're probably not looking for fluff. So let's skip the pleasantries, because what happened between Victor, Lauren, and Sam doesn't need a title. It just needs air. It started with a setup. One of those matchmaking friends who insist they can read hearts like horoscopes. And for once, they were right. The moment Victor saw Lauren, it was like watching a man trip into love wearing a three-piece suit, fast, hard, and with absolutely no grace. Victor was the kind of man who lived life in capital letters. Ivy League smile, tailored life, the kind of bank account that could make most people dizzy. He was 6 figures deep into finance, lived on the top floor of a building with its own valet, and approached romance like it was a business acquisition. Full buy-in, no budget cap. Within weeks, Lauren's toothbrush lived in his marble bathroom. By the 3rd month, her dresses were hanging next to his suits, and the closet was bigger than her old apartment. But Lauren wasn't just some girl swept off her feet. She was a hurricane in heels, co-founder of a rising event company, Spark and Shout, with her childhood best friend Sam. These two weren't just partners in business. They had decades of history behind them. Tree forts, detention slips, prom committees. And now, a cargo van full of string lights and chaos, turning soulless corporate parties into viral spectacles. Business was good, better than good. They were building something. Together, Victor noticed. He said all the right things, encouraged her hustle, laughed off the late-night calls from Sam. To him, it was just part of her world. Besides, he had a plan. A big one. He booked the rooftop of the most exclusive hotel in the city. Jazz trio, moonlight, a pastry the size of a dinner plate with Marry Me, Lauren piped across in raspberry glaze. He dropped to one knee like something out of a magazine. And Lauren? She froze. Her heart bucked in her chest like a wild animal trying to escape a trap. But saying no felt impossible. Victor was perfect, safe, devoted. Saying yes wasn't love, it was logic. It was what you're supposed to do when someone like him chooses someone like you. The next morning, she and Sam were already on the road, decorating for some rich kid's lakeside birthday bash. In the middle of blowing up balloons and managing glitter explosions, Sam noticed the ring. One flash of the diamond, and his entire face shifted. You said yes. Lauren nodded. Weddings in a few months. What she expected was teasing. Maybe an overprotective frown. But Sam's reaction? It was a storm. He muttered something sharp about selling out. About Victor being another polished Wall Street clone with inherited charm and nothing real beneath it. It wasn't sarcasm. It was venom. Lauren laughed it off. She had to, but the words clung like smoke. A few days later, Victor's mother, Karen, queen of passive-aggressive smiles, invited Lauren out for what she called a fun little outing. Translation: covert mother-in-law interrogation. They wandered through home goods while Karen quietly prodded. Lauren vented about Sam, his attitude, the fight. Karen smiled, but her eyes narrowed. Sweetheart, you're getting married. And all you can talk about is another man. Lauren brushed it off. Sam was like family. Karen's smile didn't budge, but that suspicion? It found its way to Victor that night like a scent on the wind. Victor tried to laugh it off, but the thought burrowed deep. 2 days later, Lauren drove to Sam's place. Half to smooth things over. Half to prove that Karen was wrong. That she could see Sam without feeling anything. He opened the door barefoot. Paint on his pants. Champagne already chilling. One coffee mug waiting. Her mug. And then he said it. I love you. I probably always have. Before she could react, he kissed her. Gently. Familiar. Like breathing in something she didn't realize she missed. And for one breathless, traitorous second, she kissed him back. Then the weight of it hit. The betrayal. The wedding. The ring on her finger. She pulled away like she'd touched fire and ran. Out the door. Into a rideshare with the driver asking if she needed water, while her world splintered quietly around her. She didn't tell Victor. Not then. Maybe not ever. She erased Sam from the wedding guest list with one vague email about a family fallout and practiced her bridal smile until it stopped looking like a lie. Then the big day came. River backdrop, white chairs, cotton candy clouds. Victor pacing in his navy tux like a man holding up the sky with willpower alone. But in the distance, Lauren saw him. No invitation, no plan, just Sam, messy hair, wild eyes, and that look, the desperate, last chance kind of look. And maybe Lauren didn't think. Maybe that's the moment thinking left the room entirely. She kicked off her heels, hiked her dress, and ran. Past the florist, past the shocked bridesmaids, right into his arms. They didn't speak. They just moved. Two people fleeing a choice that felt like a cage. Victor found them at the boathouse. Mud on his tux, fury in his fists. One punch landed, sharp and final. "Are you kidding me?" he said, his voice cracking. "On our wedding day?" Lauren tried to explain. But how do you explain betrayal dressed in white? That night, he packed her life into garbage bags and left them in the lobby. Lipstick, hairbrush, her dream board still taped halfway. A sticky note slapped on one. Return to sender. She called, left voicemails, messages with tears in her throat. Victor never replied. Sam thought love would fix it, thought they'd be the runaway couple people rooted for. But reality doesn't care about romance. The business collapsed. Clients dropped them. A cater waiter filmed the runaway bride sprint and live-streamed it. 20,000 views by lunch. By the third week, Sam suggested they take it slow. That slow turned into a stop. He broke it off over diner coffee. Just like that. The company? Dissolved. The dreams? Gone. Lauren was left with the bills and a storage unit full of unwanted string lights and glitter. She tried once, just once, to find Victor. Waited outside his office with a handwritten letter. Security escorted her out. He never looked down from his desk. Word is he sold the condo, drove up the Pacific coast, and started smiling in his Instagram photos. Smiling the kind of smile she'd never seen during their engagement. And Lauren? She ended up in a studio above a laundromat, planning kids' birthday parties with dollar store piñatas and sheet cake. Some nights, she scrolls through old pictures. Victor on one side, Sam on the other. Her smile wide enough to convince the moon she was happy. But the phone dies. The room goes dark. And she remembers. You can't hold two hands if both are already clinging to secrets. So now I'll ask you, what would you have done? Follow the butterflies? Or shut the door and say, I do? Go on. Drop your truth in the comments. Someone out there is standing in front of a mirror right now, asking the same question, and they're dying to know what you'd choose.